Playing video games has become an increasingly popular trend in the American family. Nearly 3/4 of parents believe that video games can be educational for their children. And more than half, at about 57%, play video games with their children on a routine basis. Here to talk more about the ever-evolving role of video games in family life is Patricia Vance. She's the president of the Entertainment Software Rating Board. Welcome to the show, Patricia.
Thank you, Mark. It's great to be here.
Tell us about the ESRB and your role in the industry.
Well, we were founded 25 years ago by the industry. We're a nonprofit, self-regulatory body, but what that means is, first and foremost, we make sure that consumers are informed prior to purchasing games, but particularly parents. So we have a rating system and we assign ratings to video games and now mobile apps as well. And then another part of the system that's also important is to make sure that those ratings are prominently displayed wherever games are sold and or downloaded, as the case may be online, but also that ads for those games are appropriately and responsibly targeted.
You go above and beyond, I'd argue, with, for example, the age ratings. You've got a sort of a three-tiered system.
We have age ratings, which provide guidance on age appropriateness. We have content descriptors, as you indicated, which will give a parent a sense of why we assigned a particular age rating.
On the back of the box.
What may have triggered that rating. And then we have something we call now interactive elements. And that's very important because we know that parents are concerned about in-game purchases or sharing a location with other players.
Yes.
Or we have users interact for games that enable online communication among players.
I know you call that out.
So those are very important parts of the system as well, and those are now on boxes as well as online. And then, as you said, our rating summaries are available on our website or through our mobile app. So when you search for rating information for a particular game, you do get a paragraph or two which provide a lot of detail, examples, could be dialogue, could be context. When we say suggestive themes, what do we mean by that?
Right.
What's the context around that with very specific examples that our raters saw when they rated the game. So it's a very robust set of information that parents have.
Now, Patricia, with all the effort the ESRB puts into age ratings on video games, do parents actually use them?
Indeed, overwhelmingly. So we know that 87% of parents are aware of the ESRB ratings, and over 3/4 of them tell us that they regularly check the ratings, that either all or most of the time. So we think that those are great performance metrics for us. We know the parents are aware of the system and using it regularly.
Are there any tips that you can give us on how parents can ensure safe gaming inside the home and even outside of the home?
So I would boil it down to 3 tips. First one being, have a conversation. Set ground rules, set household rules. We have a family discussion guide that we make available to parents to help lead that conversation. But it's really important to talk to your kids. Second thing is, familiarize yourself with the parental control settings on all of the devices. They all have parental controls. They're very robust. You can do everything from control spending to control the amount of time your child spends playing games. You can block by age rating. You can even manage who your child can play with online. So there's a whole set of very robust controls built into the devices that parents really need to get familiar with and activate. And then the third tip that I would have is play games with your kids. It's such a great way to have fun, spend quality time, and it helps you really understand what motivates your child to play and why they may be a little upset when you tell them to stop playing and they're in the middle of a mission, or they're in the middle of a competition with their friends. So it's really important to get comfortable with games, both moms and dads. Really sit down and play games with their kids.
What's your take on how the demographics are really changing?
Well, if you look at the ratings of our games, E for everyone has always been our largest category. So it's a really important rating for us, and it suggests that there are games appropriate for all ages, many games appropriate for all ages. There's been a false impression that, it's all young boys. That's simply not true. And it varies depending on device. Some devices are more targeted towards a younger audience versus an older audience, or mobile devices, let's face it, lots of other women my age are actively playing casual games. I see them commuting every day on the subway, playing those games on their smartphones. So there's a wide range of games available for all ages, all genders, all walks.
Thank you so much, Patricia. I've really enjoyed chatting with you.
You're very welcome.
Hope you have a great rest of your show.
Thank you, Mark.
You are watching Tech Impact here at E3. Certainly important information for all parents and family members out there. We hope you found that useful. To learn more, the website is parentaltools.org.